What's good, y'all? This your boy BlakG92. Now, for this evening, more so afternoon, because right now it's 5:32 in the afternoon. That is. So I'm going to do a reaction. Well, not a reaction. I'm gonna do. This is gonna be part 2 of my reaction to Best of NXT Greatest Storylines. So shout out to everybody that's been requesting me to do the second part of the reaction. So I'm going to see what the last 8 to 10 minutes that I have left for this mini documentary about 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Him succeed so badly. So when he eventually managed to string a series of wins together and earn that shot at then champion Bo Dallas, then it felt like the entire world was behind the Quebec native.
I bet.
Unfortunately, though, this wouldn't be Sammy's moment quite yet. No, Triple H was playing the long game with him, and so it was that Adrian Neville, the man better known today as Pac, would be the one who eventually dethroned Dallas instead. That didn't mean Sammy was completely down and out. No, he'd continue to work his way back up the ranks until finally, after every hurdle had been placed in his path, he got another one-on-one shot at the gold to take over our revolution on December 11th, 2014. And it was there that in one of the most emotionally satisfying moments in that brand's history, Zayn managed to win the big one and at last hold the title above his head. Sure, he would lose it to Kevin Owens pretty quickly after this, but the title run itself was never the story here. No, the story was Sammy proving to himself that he could beat the champ and that he could be the man, Rocky Balboa style. That said, not all good stories in NXT have been about people fighting over a belt. No, some have been more about the mystery, such as was the case with the 2018 Who Attacked Aleister Black angle. Okay, this one...
these damn commercials. I don't give a shit about this fuck ass shit. I don't care.
Okay, this one did kind of involve the NXT title, as the attack happened right as Black was about to take part in a three-way bout for the gold against Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. But once the current House of Black leader was laid out by a mystery assailant on the August 8th episode of NXT, his focus shifted away from the gold and instead moved on to trying to find out who had dared to strike him in such a cowardly manner.
Yeah.
Of course, he wasn't the only one who wanted to find out the answer to this question, though, as over the weeks which followed, fans and performers alike were all trying to solve the mystery, with the only person who seemed to know the answer to the question, outside of the attacker themselves that was, being Nikki Cross. And since Nikki Cross was completely unhinged and her word couldn't exactly be trusted, this didn't make it easier for Aleister to confirm things. In the end, though, he wouldn't have to, because after much speculation, on the October 17th episode of NXT, the attacker revealed themselves to be none other than Johnny Gargano, with this being explained away as Johnny growing jealous that Black had gotten himself tied up in a feud with Tommaso Ciampa that he felt was his and his alone to deal with. So obviously then...
Yeah, jealousy would drive people to do some off-the-wall shit sometimes. Especially like a sucker punch and knocking someone flat out. But hey, makes for a good storyline.
Now being a heel, it meant that the two would have to have a blow-off at TakeOver War Games just 1 month later. A blow-off which might very well have been match of the night, and which ended with the babyface getting his revenge in the form of a victory. How would things progress from there? Well, Black would move on to other things, such as teaming up with Ricochet in the 2019 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, all before then being drafted up to the main roster and spending a period there, too. No, his time on the main roster wasn't a great run for him, but maybe, if, as some have speculated might happen, he eventually returns to WWE once his current AEW contract runs out, he'll get a second chance at the whip, perhaps this time a romance angle involving his wife, Zelina Vega. After all, we all know romance angles in wrestling can work well. NXT proved this with their Index story during the latter days of the Black and Gold era. What was the story to this one? Well, it was that in early 2021, relatively normal member of the Way, Indy Hartwell, began finding herself to be the object of Dexter Lumis's affections. And since Lumis was a mute, apparent serial killer whose only way of showing love was to act in the strangest manner possible, it's understandable she was a bit freaked out by this at first.
Bet.
As time went on, though, Dexter began slowly winning over the object of his affections with his unique charms, and this eventually led to the two becoming a bit of an on-screen item. Something which, at least initially, drew the ire of Indy's stablemates Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, and Austin Theory. Of course, eventually they'd come to love Lumis too, though, and so it was after months of a whirlwind romance, everything would culminate in a marriage proposal on the August 17th episode of NXT. But in a twist to the way these things usually go, it wouldn't be the man who did the proposing here. No, instead it was Hartwell who made her intentions clear, with the wedding being set to go ahead from there on September 14th.
Even for a storyline, it's just weird as fuck to see a woman propose to a man. It's always gonna look weird to me. I would never understand the rationale, whether it's for like a fictional setting or a real life setting. It won't make sense to me at all.
First NXT episode under the new 2.0 rebranding. That's right, it was quite a way to kick off a new era, and while it wasn't exactly Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth, it was still a memorable segment and a worthy conclusion to one of NXT's most memorable angles over the years. Sadly though, this would also mark the beginning of the end for the couple, because pretty soon after their marriage was made official here, Loomis would find himself out of a job, and so the two would be separated once more. But even if it was a sad way for things to conclude, anyone who's spent any length of time watching wrestling should know that breakups are the way things so often go. After all, it's the way our next great angle eventually ended, with that being the story of the Undisputed Era. Yes, back in the latter half of the 2010s, there was no more dominating force in NXT than that which was made up of Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong. And the reason for that was because when all four men were paired together, their combined skills made them nigh on unbeatable. Yes, it didn't matter who was going up against them, the Undisputed Era almost always stood tall. And this was why at one point they were quite literally dripping in gold when Cole was NXT World Champion, Roddy the North American Champion, and Red Dragon the Tag Team Champions. Unfortunately though, as with all good things, this one had to end eventually, and so it was that after years of making things like War Games their own, dissension began to sow itself amongst the ranks of the stable when Kyle O'Reilly went on something of a main event singles run in 2020. How would Adam Cole respond to both this and O'Reilly's subsequent attempts to have Finn Balor join the UE? Well, with extreme jealousy. Which was exactly why at TakeOver Vengeance Day on February 14th, 2020...
As always, whenever whether a group succeeds together, there's always going to be either one or two people that's jealous of the main guy getting all the attention. It always happens. I kind of suspected that. Kind of be mentioned as one of the reasons why they split.
He just about kicked the Vancouver native's head off with a super kick, a move which formerly marked the downfall of the stable. Yes, now with Cole and O'Reilly at odds, it was left to Fish and Strong to choose sides, with this all eventually becoming too much and causing the whole thing to implode. Sure, all parties involved would eventually try to rebuild these friendships when they later moved over to AEW, but even that couldn't last forever it seems, because with the wounds from that initial attack running too deep, we're now looking at a stage where it doesn't look like we'll ever see all four members of the Undisputed Era on the same page again. Needless to say then, that's a crying shame, because when they were at their peak in NXT during the late 2010s and early 2020s, there was quite simply no one who could match up to them in terms of either their ability in the ring or their sheer force of strength and numbers. So, pour one out for the UE, arguably the greatest stable to ever do it on the developmental brand. Well, that is if we don't count our next group as an official stable, of course, because while they were never all on the same page in kayfabe, the bonds that tie the four horsewomen together remain strong throughout their entire time on the Black and Gold brand. And this led to one of the best overarching stories in the show's history. Now, to tell this one properly, we need to go back to December 12th, 2012. That was the date Sasha Banks had her first televised match against Paige, and in the process became the first of the four horsewomen to appear on WWE TV. Of course, she wouldn't be the only one there for long though, because over the course of the 12 months which followed, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, and Becky Lynch would also join her. And with each of these four performers quickly proving themselves to be stars in waiting, it led to a heated competition breaking out to see who would reach the top first. Not that they weren't friends behind the scenes though. No, so close would the quartet become that at one point, Charlotte's father Ric Flair would bestow upon them the name of the Four Horsewomen. On screen, though, things were far less civil, as each wanted to be the top dog in the division, and this all memorably climaxed in a four-way bout between them at TakeOver Rival on February 11th, 2015, to this date the only time that match has taken place. Who won this one? Well, that would be Sasha Banks, with her
Figured that
victory
much.
here spinning her off into even better singles bouts against the likes of Bayley and Lynch. But then all 4 of the horsewomen could be counted on to have a great singles match with one another by then, and this was something they proved again and again, right up until the point their era on the developmental brand came to a figure-it end when 3 of their members, namely Banks, Blair, and Lynch, were called up to the main roster on the July 13th, 2015 episode of Raw. What happened after that? Well, they just kept on dominating, now on the main roster instead. And when Bayley eventually joined them on the A show, their reign of dominance only got stronger. That said, had they not first proven they could be such stars with such a great story in NXT, then things might never have reached this.
Look at Ric Flair trying to dance or whatever he's trying to do. Oh boy, you slow it down, old man. But anyway, it's very impressive that the so-called 4 horsewomen managed to stick it out for a number of years. I have to do some reactions to some matches. I can do so without any sort of copyright strikes.
But then that just goes to show the importance of the developmental show and its ability to captivate us with some of the tales it's weaved over the years.
Oh, that was it? Seems so anticlimactic.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Alright, that was the second half of Best of NXT Greatest Storylines. And oh man, they got some cool recommendations. There's a couple of them I've watched a while back. I might have to finish watching the one on the Leah movie, which we all know that movie was straight up booty cheeks. Straight cheeks, you know. That should never been made. But anyway, back on this documentary. It's another informative documentary as such, and given the history of all the different storylines, a couple of them were pretty interesting, I have to add. Pretty interesting. And I guess I could definitely understand as to why it gained so many fans for the WWE. So shout out to whoever put the storylines together. Let me see what people saying in the comments section. Adam Cole, John Gargano, Tomasco Ciampa, and Finn Balor's my Mount Rushmore of NXT superstars. Okay, might read another one. To have a special mention to Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream. To say my name and was very well done. Undisputed will forever be the best faction in Black and Gold NXT. From what I've gathered from this documentary, it seemed like it. So hey, post some in the comment section when we react to any of their matches, and also keep those mini documentaries. There's also songs, music videos, countdowns, also trailers for any upcoming movies and TV shows. What else? Also interviews. Post them in the comment section below. And also I like to say, be sure to check out King J Styles' mixtape, who's King J Style, Volume 1. I still haven't gotten around to listen to the whole thing myself, but I want everybody else to not post it, but be sure to hit up the link to his mixtape. That is posted in my community tab, so y'all can hear for yourselves and give ratings and let me know. And also let me know in the comment section in the community tab how you feel about the tape, what you like about it, what you don't like, because it is my coworker's second project. So any old feedback, I'm gonna let them know how y'all feel about it. So hey, just come and run those numbers up. And also hit that like button, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button on my channel as well, so you can stay tuned what I have in store. And another way you can keep up what I have for the channel, as well as just random shit that goes on in the world, which I'm definitely going to speak on slightly more on my social media accounts. They'll be posted in the description box below. And that's just it. And I might post something else sometime, either tonight or tomorrow. This your boy BlakG92, about to sign off. Holla at your boy. Peace.